this is a Luna Clubman SE. Just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got the jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker, you've got your gas bottle with your gas pipe work going up to your regulator. You can actually have 2 gas bottles connected at any time, and also two gas bottles connected into if it's a gas pipe work connected at any time, should I say. In the centre here, you have a gas changeover valve, so you can actually change the supply over as you need to. The green side needs to point towards the bottle you want to use. Coming down the side of the caravan, you've got your heating and hot water flue. Very simply there to allow the heating system to breathe, a bit like the flue on the side of your house. And that does the same, like I said, does the same job as the flue on the side of your house, so you don't have to do anything with it. You always leave it open as you would your household flue. Down below that, you've got 2 wind down legs to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. They are only there for stabilising, not lifting the van. If you lifted the van with these, it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. Coming down the side of the van a bit further, you've got your water pump connection. Very simple to use. Blue trigger back. You pull it out to release it and push it in to lock it in place, and use the blue tab to lock it in. The pickup pipe needs to be fully submerged in the water prior to turning the water pump on. If it's not and you turn the water pump on, it can potentially draw air up into the water system, so you need to make sure this barrel's full, and you also need to keep an eye on the level just to make sure it never runs out of water. Battery box and mains power lead. So you've got the mains power plugged into the power on site, and the battery is the 100 amp leisure battery that comes as part of the Super Startup Pack. We've then got our 2 fridge vents. So the 2 fridge vents are very simply there to allow hot air out of the fridge unit and take some cool air in. And then you've got your gas flue on the top right hand side there. With what I've just said in mind, you do need to remember when it's extreme heat like we're in at the moment, potentially the fridge isn't going to cool as much as a household fridge would, for instance, just due to the fact it's trying to pull in cool air from the outside, but instead it's just pulling in hot air. Motor mover and wheel nut, so the Power Touch Classic motor mover, which we'll demonstrate at the end of the handover, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts to the correct setting so you can see they've been tightened. The fresh water that goes in the front of the caravan has to come out somewhere, and that's what these 2 grey pipes are for down the side of the van. So I have 2 bits of grey pipe that go into the larger diameter holes down the side there, and they'll drop down inside your waste master. Coming further down the side of the van, you then got your toilet flush tank. It's come down the side of the van, so you'll open this up and you'll put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. That allows you to flush your toilet system, and it also allows the toilet bowl to clean as you're flushing the toilet. Coming down into the bottom, in the bottom cassette, like I said, you've got the toilet flush tank, which you've got the orange handle for, and pull the cassette out. The orange neck here turns out 90 degrees, so you can tip the waste away. The grey cap here is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. And on the back of the cassette, you've got an orange pressure relief button, so you can tip the waste away without it spitting and splattering back at you. So 1 litre of water in there and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. On the back of the van on the other side, you've got your 2 wind down legs again to stabilise the van. Then coming down the door side, you've got a storage locker for underneath the bed. At the rear of the van, as you can see, your carpets for the caravan are in that locker also. Then coming further down, you've got a wet storage locker, so if you've got any wet items, they can go in there. You've got a 3-pin socket so you can have power out to your awning and your barbecue gas point. And behind that locker door, there's the last of the wind down legs. Coming on to the inside now, as we come into the caravan above the door, we're going to turn the power on. Just here. Below that, you've got your interior lighting for the caravan. You've got your awning light for the outside of the van, and then on this side here, you've got your battery levels for the different options on board the caravan. And you can also bring up your solar panel voltage if you've got a solar panel on the van, and the battery you want to select. Down the bottom left hand side here, you've got your water pump option. You hit the water pump button here and it'll allow the water pump to run. I'll come back to that in a moment. Then you've got your Aldi control panel on the top right hand side here. First thing you need to do when you come into the caravan is fill the water system up. So you're going to open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. And underneath the seat on the front right hand side, underneath here, you have a yellow drain down valve. That yellow drain down valve should be flat with the floor prior to filling the water system up. So now the yellow valve is flat with the floor, we can come over to the taps, like I said, open them all up on the hot side of the water system. As you can see, I've already just filled the system up, but what you'll do is once you've got the yellow valve shut, you'll come over to the water pump button, press the water pump button, and the water system will start filling up. Now once the system is completely full, you'll have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan. At this point you can shut all of the taps back off, and then you can start thinking about warming the water on board the van. That's where the control panel comes up on the top right hand side here, just by the door. So we're going to hit the menu button here. So you've got power on off, bottom left hand side, menu button. At the top here, it's going to be a little bit hard to see because of the sunlight, I do apologise. You've got plus or minus for your heating. Now, as you can imagine, I'm going to turn that all the way off today, as I don't think we'll want that on. When it's at 5 degrees, that is the heating off. It goes all the way up to 30 degrees. I'm sure, like I said, you'll give that a go during the winter, but I wouldn't necessarily advise it today. Below that, you've got the water temperature. You've got water on and water boost. So as you can see, when this bar is completely full, that is your water system running on its maximum setting, which is the boost setting. Below that, you've got the amount of power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. Now, the only way you'll know what to set this to is by asking the site office when you arrive on your holiday. So what you have the option of is 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts. So like I said, depending on what site that is you're on, it'll give you the option to set this up to 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts. And then if the site office advises you to set it to 2, you can set it to 2 kilowatts, and that'll be the medium setting for the heating and hot water. And what I mean by that is its second most efficient power setting. Obviously the 1 is its least efficient, 3 is its most efficient. If you want to run the heating and hot water on gas, you can also do that by hitting the gas symbol down the bottom of the screen here. It will self-ignite on gas if the gas is turned on. If it ignites on gas, or sorry, if it fails to ignite on gas, you'll get a gas fail appear at the bottom of the screen here, and the icon here will go red. If it's ignited, it will stay green as it has just done. Bottom right hand side of the screen, you have some advanced settings for the heating and hot water. For these, we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan fully. The reason I say this for is that some of the settings in there are quite advanced to operate. Even though I don't play with those, I must admit. But when you go through it, if you do want to set timers and stuff for your heating and hot water, then like I said, just read the manual fully before you start doing it, as it can potentially turn off the heating and hot water in the background of the control panel. So that is your heating and hot water. One thing I should say, sorry, is you need to make sure you turn off this control panel before you turn off the main control panel here. When you turn it back on, it should actually come back on to the same settings as what you've already had it on, as you can see just there. Microwave is an eco microwave, so it has an eco button here on the top right hand side, which allows you to turn on the microwave. As you can see, it comes back on when you hit that button. It will turn itself off after a short while, but hit the eco button again and it will kick back in. Hob, grill and oven all work very much like your household appliances. The 240 electric ring at the back are the same as the microwave, will only work when you're connected to mains power. It will not work if you're on gas only. Next up is the fridge. So you press the power button on the front of the fridge and the fridge will come on. At the moment you can see the gas symbol here is lit up, so that is trying to ignite on gas at the moment. If it fails to ignite, it's going to flash the flame symbol here and the red warning triangle on the right hand side. But if it does ignite, the blue light will stay solid here, and then you can control the temperature of the fridge on the button on the right hand side. Next up, we've got 240 mains. So if connected to mains power, you can use the fridge as a mains powered fridge. Like I said, on hot days like it is today, the fridge will not be as efficient as what it could be on a cooler day. Again, you control the temperature on the button on the right hand side here. You've then got your option for 12 volt mode. So 12 volt mode is from the car you are towing with. It is not from the battery on board the caravan. So when you connect to the car, you don't need to have the main control panel turned on above the door, but you can use the fridge as a call box. So what you'll essentially do is turn the fridge on, hit the 12 volt mode. If this light goes solid blue, then it means the fridge is operating on the 12 volt from the car. You may need to have the car running for it to operate, but if you haven't got the right connection on your car, or it is not wired up correctly, then it will not operate on 12 volt from the car. Next up, we're going through into the bathroom. The beds themselves are very simple. They pull out from underneath the front here on this rail, as you can see. Also from this side, sorry, pull out from this side, the same as from the other side, and then the cushions make up the mattress essentially. But going down into the back of the caravan, you have an electric flush on the toilet, so you press the button here to flush. Red light illuminates here when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience, so essentially you can get comfortable. And then below the toilet you have a grey waste handle. To open up the grey waste handle will allow the toilet waste into the cassette under the van. We do advise you have it open when you start using the loo. And when you're not using the loo, have it in the closed position. One reason for this is it stops any smells coming up inside the van. The other reason being is it allows you to remove the toilet waste cassette from underneath the caravan. If it's not in the central position, then you won't be able to remove it. And if you do manage to remove the toilet waste cassette, you could potentially damage the toilet waste cassette itself. The last thing I'm going to go through on this particular caravan is where the 12-volt fuses are and the 240 trip switches. So you need to have the charger turned on, the space heater turned on, and the water heater turned on the end here to allow the heating, hot water systems and the charger on board the caravan to work. Then on the bottom left-hand side here, you need to have your 12-volt fuses turned on. The 12-volt fuses, there is a list for what each one should be for, just below them. So if you have a problem with the 12-volt, we do advise you check here first. On the right-hand side, you have your 240 style trip switches that you have at home. If you're not sure if you have mains power coming to the caravan, hit the test switch. If this switch drops down, it means there is mains power coming to the caravan. If it stays in the upright position, it means there is no mains power coming to the caravan from the site you're on. On the right hand side then, on this cupboard door, you do actually have what each of the trip switches is for and what they power. So this is the Lunar Clubman SE. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thanks again. Bye bye.